And welcome to Houston, Texas here. The Houston Dash getting set to take on the Seattle Reign after a severe weather delay here at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. We're just finishing up the national anthem as we welcome you in. Glenn Davis alongside me. She's Olympic gold medalist, former U.S. women's national team defender, Kat Whitehill. And two of these teams in very differing places, yet they have their own pressure. Seattle, in the case of them, want to continue this success here that's gotten them into the playoffs, while the Houston Dash, this is a must-win game.
Well, absolutely. The Houston Dash, they need to win this game, at least get a point from it. But considering they only have 3 games left, they need 3 points, and they might even need a little help along the way from other teams losing. But for Seattle Reign, they want to keep the foot on the pedal. They felt as though they lost in the final last year because they managed their team too much because they were on the top of the table. So this year, since they're on the top now and they've clinched, they want to keep going and go hard.
You see the Dash in 6th place. 3 straight losses have put them out of what was essentially a pole position. They're very disappointed to lose against Washington, Sky Blue, and then last week, 9 days ago, to Seattle. That puts them in 6th place. And if we talk about the Seattle Reign, well, we talk about a team that's been pretty dominant in every facet of the game in this league. They've got one of the most balanced midfields going, led by Kim Little.
Absolutely. Kim Little won the NWSL Player of the Year last year, and she is probably the best number 10 in the world in the women's game. Then you also add Fishlock and Winters in there. They are so well balanced. They know where each other is all the time, and they know their roles, and it makes them a very special midfield trio.
All right, star quality is here tonight, and that midfield will get the challenge of Carly Lloyd and the challenge of Morgan Bryan, so essential to the U.S. win in this summer's World Cup in Canada.
Yeah, having Morgan Bryan and Carly Lloyd on the opposite end for that midfield, it kind of raises their level. So it's going to be an interesting contest between the two midfields, and whoever wins that will win this game.
Well, you heard it. Carly Lloyd today in action, Megan Rapinoe, all the big stars, hope solo for Seattle. Stay here with us on Fox Sports 1 because Megan Rapinoe, Carly Lloyd could be scoring goals like this here tonight at BBVA Compass Stadium. It's Seattle, Houston, starting lineup next. Headsets. It is finally game on here in Houston, Texas. BBVA Compass Stadium. The Houston Dash getting set to take on the Seattle Reign. Hope Solo leading the Reign out here. And, of course, Carly Lloyd and Morgan Bryan here available tonight and in the lineup for the Houston Dash. Glenn Davis alongside Kat Whitehill. Moments ago, the third member of our team, Kindred D. St. Aubin, caught up with the superstar from the World Cup for the U.S., Carly Lloyd.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, Carly, another rain delay for you guys. You're a little sick of these. Obviously, you're coming off the U.S. Women's Victory Tour. What's it like to come back and join your team, especially in a must-win situation for you guys?
Yeah, I don't love the rain delays, but luckily, it looks good. The field looks good, and we'll be ready to go. It's good to be back. Honestly, it's good to just kind of play some games and just play freely, enjoy things. Obviously, there's a lot on the line. We've got to win these next 3 games, but we'll take this game first and foremost against Seattle, a really good Seattle team. So looking forward to it. I think we're ready, we're prepped, and we just got to go take care of business.
Well, a lot has been made, obviously, about their midfield. Pretty dynamic threesome inside there. How do you guys kind of control that? I know in the last game against them, you tried some different things, clogging the middle, then maybe trying to spread them out, but you stop one thing and they go to another strength. How are you going to try to challenge them and balance them in the middle?
Yeah, well, I think, we're going to play with a diamond in the midfield. I'll kind of be at the tip of that with the 2 up top. And, they're a really good team. They play really well out of the back, along with, Hope back there, and their midfield's great, but I think we just have to be kind of just composed on the ball and keep it. We got to get in the attacking third, we got to score some goals, but ultimately it comes down to kind of focusing on ourselves and just taking care of business and getting into some tackles and going after them.
Between the Dash and Reign, the Reign winning 2-1 in Seattle. Here is the Houston Dash starting lineup. Erin McLeod, the Canadian international. Back 4 will include Megan Klingenberg, also with the U.S. Women's World Cup team that were winners, and Axon will do the holding in front or behind Bryan and Lloyd.
Well, and the key for this lineup is Jen LaPont getting the start today. Ella Mazar is out with yellow card accumulation. You also have Lauren Sesselman and Alicia Chapman, both from the Canadian national team, are out right now with injuries. Jess McDonald and Ohio are going to really have to provide a lot of goals for this team because it's a tough defense they're going up against.
Seattle, coached by Laura Harvey. She's only 35 years of age, the only female coach in the league. Hope Solo in goal. The Stars are back, but all eyes drawn to number 8, Kim Little.
She's a special player, best number 10 in the world. That midfield is just tough to beat. But Beverly Yanez, number 17, out on the right flank. She's been excellent for Seattle Reign this year. A player of the week while the World Cup players were gone. Really helped maintain Seattle's run at the top of the table. They are in first place on 33 points. Back down to the third member of our team, Kindred D. St. Aubin.
Thanks, guys. Well, let me tell you, an hour-long rain delay, but the field is in excellent condition. The whole field drained very well. The grounds crew was out here working on one corner, but that's because that's where all the vehicles drive on and off the field to take care of the field. Other than that, great condition. These 2 teams are ready to get going. They are fired up for this game. They both know it means a lot. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kendra, and we look forward to further reports from Kendra here. All time, 4 meetings. Seattle has won them all. There is Randy Waldrum. Second year as a Houston Dash coach, 58 years of age. Many remember him from the college game at Notre Dame, winning 2 national championships in 2004 and 2010. Founded the Baylor University program. Almost got Trinidad and Tobago to the Women's World Cup in Canada. And Laura Harvey, last year, she was the coach of the year in the NWSL. Only coach the Seattle Reign have known. Her father, a former English FA coach, and that's where she got a lot of the influence in her life. Laura Harvey wants to keep the winning momentum going here through players like this. Megan Rapinoe, Kat, who makes her way back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, and she is an excellent player. She's so good at creating and assisting her players. But what I love about her is she keeps the width, and so that allows the trio in the middle for Seattle Reign to have that space and find her wide so she can get up and down the flank.
Referee is Matthew Kreitzer. Hope Solo is in town. A lot of excitement here from the fans who have stuck around. The Dash in orange, and Seattle in the purple and neon. Players like Solo, Lloyd, Bryan, all back from the U.S. Victory Tour. They played on Wednesday night, all of them playing about 45 minutes. And it's game on here at BBVA Compass Stadium. Right to ground goes Fishlock in midfield for Seattle, who's in possession. Well, if you're in a situation like Randy Waldrum in Houston, is it about getting after Seattle here tonight, or is it a little bit more measured, Kat?
It's about getting after Seattle. They're at home. They have the benefit of this heat and humidity that they've been going through basically all summer long. They came after Seattle very hard in the first half when they played just 9 days ago, but they kind of fell off a little bit. They need to keep that momentum going, score early, and really test the back line of Seattle.
Well, you can see some very heavy areas here on the field. That's trying to play out of that heavy water is Seattle here. So there are some challenges here with the surface and some standing water. This one driven forward. Seattle will get the throw in here.
And you can tell the field is as well as it drained, it rained very, very hard, and you can see the ball is going to stop in certain pockets all around the field.
It's Fishlock playing out of pressure there. Rapinoe now over the top, tried to pick out Little, who again was already in a deep lying position. Let's get to the keys of the game here tonight, Kat, and what do you have for us between the Houston Dash and Seattle Reign?
Well, for Houston, they need to limit the playmaking ability of the Seattle midfield. They did a good job in the first half in their last game of clogging that midfield, but Keelan Winters and Jess Fishlock were able to figure out in the second half, and that's really where they dominated. And Seattle, they cannot take their foot off the pedal. They really want this killer mentality that they did not have last year, which they believe prevented them from winning the NWSL title.
Here's Klingenberg. She'll go back. This is Axon now, who's going to play as the holding midfielder. Winters lost out to Morgan Bryant here. Here's Bryant over the top towards McDonald. McDonald has 7 goals, one of the top goal scorers in the NWSL, and Solo will shank that one into the crowd. It'll be a throw-in for the Dash. Jess McDonald is a threat up front, and she is physical.
And she was a big signing for Houston Dash this offseason. She's one of those players that they knew wasn't going to be leaving them for the World Cup, and she could really help this team, especially with her speed and size. She did such a great job in Portland last year, but didn't see enough playing time, and now she is with the Houston Dash.
Here's Kim Little now on the attack. This is a vaunted midfield. This is a team that generally controls the possession and wins it each and every game. Little has found real space here. She's onside. She took a look at the lineswoman. It's squared back. Shooting opportunity over the top, but already last year's league MVP finds huge space down the right side. Kim Little already evident. We're only 4 minutes in.
Well, this is what makes her so special, is her mobility. Yes, she is great at connecting with her attack and playing players in, but she also finds the space in behind the back line, stays onside, and look at all that time and space she has to look up. But fortunately, Tony Presley for the Houston Dash was able to get a foot on it, and Beverly Yanez just flights the ball way high. But Kim Little is so special with her movements and just seeing the field of play.
She is the orchestrator. She is the catalyst. She's got 6 goals, 6 assists on the year, and can beat you in a variety of ways. This one knocked all the way back by Lauren Barnes. Solo now switches it. Stephanie Cox. She's got 2 goals on the year. That's the other thing. They've got a wide game as well. Driving up front now, Merritt Mathias, who played at Texas A&M. Had one of the goals in the 2-1 win in Seattle 9 days ago.
And she's from Birmingham, Alabama. Give my hometown a little shout out.
Victory Tour is going to head down there.
That's right.
In September, U.S. Women's National Team. Amazing crowds. 40,000 plus in Pittsburgh. Sellout in Chattanooga for the 2 matches against Costa Rica. Morgan Bryant, and she's slugging through the water over there. She had a fitness test to pass before this game, but it is very heavy out there. Harley Lloyd with a touch. The offside flag is up. Ohio came from an offside position. The crowd reaching another decibel whenever these World Cup stars get on the ball. Laura Harvey is the only female coach in the league, and a talented one and youthful at 35, Kat.
Well, I think she's a tremendous coach. Just talking to her yesterday, I just loved her philosophy on the game. Fishlock talked about how she paints pictures.
Rapinoe. We'll get back to that in a second. Megan Rapinoe now got slowed down by the heavy water. We'll get a crossover towards the far post. It went out of play. It's a goal kick.
Well, Jess Fishlock talked about, we asked her what makes Laura Harvey so great, and Jess Fishlock said she paints pictures for you. She doesn't tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. She guides you, she gives you direction, but she allows you to make mistakes and figure out what's the right decision. And that's what this team has done so well, is they're starting to pick out the right players and they're peaking at the right time.
Only the 7th appearance for Megan Rapinoe, and when Rapinoe and goalkeeper Hope Solo went to the World Cup, Seattle was undefeated. To show you the backbone that this team has. And they clearly have distinguished themselves this year in the NWSL. Got all the way to the final last year, only to lose to Kansas City.
Well, the backbone of this team is so strong. We've talked about Kim Little, we've talked about Jess Fishlock, but you also, and they're both European players from Wales and Scotland, but you also have like Keelan Winters, who could get a look for the U.S. national team. Stephanie Cox, who's played in World Cup and Olympics.
Here's Little over the top, this one towards the run of Fishlock. This midfield of Fishlock, Winters, and Little, boy, they all know each other's tendencies and habits so beautifully.
Yeah, when we talked to Keelan Winters about it, she said well balanced about 10 times, just because of how special it is with how well they work off each other. Keelan Winters does a lot of the dirty work in that defensive midfielder role. Jess Fishlock kind of floats between offense and defense, and then Kim Little connects with the forwards and the midfield, and they seem to just flow with ease when they're in the middle.
Here is Winters. Lauren Barnes trying to get out of her own half. It will be a bit dicey here tonight in passing the ball, but these are two teams that like to keep the ball on the floor and manage games through possession. Fishlock tackled away there. Nice tackle there. Coming from Andressa, the Brazilian. Nice ball laid on. McDonald trying to line her right foot up, and over the top it goes. Great chance for the Houston Dash. Lloyd was involved. To McDonald, the 7-goal scorer.
Well, this is excellent work from Carly Lloyd. She's able to find just the right amount of space for where McDonald is running onto, and I think the grass got her a little bit and forced her to hold up, which is why she didn't get as good of a shot on target.
She's been one of the most prolific goal scorers in this league. Had 11 last year for Portland, has 7 this year for the Houston Dash. Jessica McDonald, whose brother Brandon played in Major League Soccer. Axon broke it up for the moment. We haven't talked about Beverly Yanez up front, and actually in a bit of a wide position here, but she's got 9 goals for Seattle.
She's been tremendous for them while the World Cup players have been gone. She has done a nice job of finding the flank and opening up spaces.
Speaking of opening up, Bryan to Ojai. Kalia Ojai towards the near post, cut out beautifully by Stephanie Cox. Now the Houston Dash in possession. Tony Presley out of Florida State. Just overhit it to Megan Klingenberg. It'll be a throw in Seattle Reign. Good look at Presley, the center back at 25 years of age, youth international for the United States. He's a left back brought into the middle and brings a bit of a physical presence. Dangerous back pass. Here's McDonald trying to get there. And a sweeping, saving tackle. But it's won back by Carly Lloyd. She took it off Fishlock, plays it in the box. It's a bit of mayhem right now for Seattle. They can't get out of their own half of the field. Bryan. Shooting opportunity. Andressa's shot, the Brazilian, blocked. Good use of the body by Klingenberg. Presley, Lloyd, Klingenberg now. Well, that's a good ball, and the offside flag is up on McDonald.
The field is causing problems for everyone, but Jess Fishlock getting back quickly on Jess McDonald, but Carly Lloyd coming in for the tackle as well. You can see that Fishlock and Lloyd are raising their level to play against each other.
Let's go down to the third member of our team, Kindred D. St. Aubin.
And guys, maybe I spoke too soon on the field conditions. I walked about 20 yards onto the field. The near side is in much better shape than that far side. You can see the ball dying. I would expect most of the play to be coming down this right side, or the left side, I guess, if you're Houston. The rest of this half, it is just dying over there on that far side.
McDonald. And this is Fishlock now. We had an opportunity to go down and watch the Seattle Rain train. They were indoors yesterday because of all these thunderstorms and weather that has been coming through Houston. But boy, we went away very impressed with how engaged they were, how sharp they were, how much fun they seemed to be having. This was a team that looked like they're really humming.
I mean, I was watching, I was jealous with how much fun they were having, and they said that's every day under Laura Harvey. She just makes them have fun, but they work hard.
Kim Little has peeled off. That's a good run. The offside flag is up. But Little again dancing off that last line of the dash defense.
On the dash defense, they have dealt with a lot of adversity this year. Nikki Cross, who was their center back for the first part of the year, retired from soccer. Lauren Sessamon, Alicia Chapman, both Canadian internationals. They've been dealing with injuries. Ella Mazar, who's a normal starter for the right back, is out tonight with yellow card accumulation. And Jen LaPont, who they just recently signed, is getting a start tonight. And Erin McLeod, when I was asking her about her back line, she said their best game was in the last game against Seattle because the communication was at an all-time high. And that's what they need to do tonight to deal with this Seattle attack.
And we add to that Stephanie Oakes, ACL injury, Brittany Bach, abdominal. Of course, Kat mentioned Ella Masser, out suspended here, picked up the yellow in Seattle. This is Erin McLeod, Canadian national team goalkeeper to Megan Klingenberg. Klingenberg went 90 minutes in Pittsburgh against Costa Rica, having grown up in Pennsylvania from Gibsonia.
And she had a great celebration when she scored, bringing out the terrible towel for all the Pittsburgh fans.
Matthias is fouled from behind by Tony Presley. Sets up a dangerous free kick here now. Matthias played up the road at Texas A&M here in College Station, Texas. And of course, spent a couple of years at the University of North Carolina as well.
Set pieces were a problem for Houston in the last match against Seattle. Corsi, number 4, scored on a header off of a corner, so they need to make sure they are touch tight when marking.
Cox will take the free kick. The box is loaded up. Winters is in there as well. It's a driven-in ball, and it's defended well by the striker McDonald. Here's Rapinoe. And Rapinoe lost it. It's Ojai now. LaPont's a great story because she earned a contract after 3 years as an amateur. Nobody's going to catch Ojai. Can they fill in the box? Houston Dash here on the attack, and slowed up, and a great recovery and a great tackle in retreat from Matthias.
Well, I love this. This is a forward running back as fast as she can. Perfectly times that tackle so there's no foul whatsoever. And that's what you need to do when it's a set piece. Everybody has to sprint back, including the forwards.
20-year-old Andressa, an up-and-comer to take the corner. Drives it in towards the 6. Not a bad ball. Headed away by Winters. And first to get there is Kim Little from Scotland. Little got knocked off it by Andressa. It's Lloyd now spinning out of there. Carly Lloyd, 71 goals in 204 appearances for the U.S. Rapinoe's going to try it over the top, and it will skip wide. But like Carly Lloyd in the World Cup final against Japan, Megan Rapinoe spotted Erin McLeod off her line. Klingenberg. Ojai. Klingenberg. She's got space. Got her head up. Took a look. Flips it in towards the near post. And cleared. Rapinoe with Matthias in front of her. Will knock it back. Ball died in the heavy surface here. Lloyd, Bryant. Ojai cutting inside. Big tackle from Fishlock. Klingenberg now. Winner stepped up. She was there but missed the tackle. It's still Houston and cleared. Tucking in nicely there was Kendall Fletcher. Dash with the free kick.
The field is causing a lot of problems for both teams, but it seems like Houston seems to be a little bit more ready when the ball gets caught. Seattle just seems to be a bit shocked when the ball doesn't go where they want it to go. They need to be more prepared that there are pockets that the ball will stop it.
At about an hour weather delay here, severe weather, so heavy conditions here at BBVA Compass Stadium on this surface. Carly Lloyd here, who has tremendous power. And Lloyd is going to try it. It's blocked by Rapinoe, her World Cup teammate. Andressa, who Randy Waldrum says is one to keep an eye on. Andressa gets the crossover. Winners didn't go up. Ball drops. It's Ojai now. Morgan Bryant back to Ojai. Ojai's shot handled by Hope Solo. Solo's second consecutive game coming back into the NWSL.
And you can see that she has that sleeve on her leg, and that's because she's been dealing with an injury. And I've noticed that she's been staying very close to her line, even on the crosses, which is not usual for Hope Solo. One of her best strengths is coming out and timing and winning crosses for her team. So I have to think that maybe her knee is bothering her just a little bit.
Ball over the top, and that's a very good ball. Offside flag was up, though, on Beverly Yanez with 9 goals and 1 assist.
And this is Andressa. She's so skilled, finds the in line, and you see Hope Solo is still standing on her line. Good job from Corsi to get ahead on that ball, but unable to clear it completely. And Houston trying everything to get something on it, but Hope Solo, of course, comes up with the save.
Leah Ojai, 4 goals, 5 assists, has an outstanding season here in her second year out of the University of North Carolina. Only 23 years of age. She was second overall in the NWSL draft in 2014. This is LaPont on the ball now. It's an amazing story. 3 years as an amateur on this team, finally earning a pro contract, and now in the starting lineup tonight against the World Cup stars of the Seattle Reign in the right back position. Winner stepped up. Little, who's always her first target. Kim Little now waits a beautiful ball. Trying to drive into the box. And called for the foul is Megan Rapinoe. It's interesting because when Megan Rapinoe went out suspended, the U.S. took off after that. Had to make changes under Jill Ellis after that Columbia game.
Well, I think that was the biggest difference was both Lauren Holiday and Megan Rapinoe with their yellow cards had to sit out for the China game. And that pushed Morgan Bryant into the game, and it pushed Carly Lloyd higher, and it changed the way the World Cup looked for the United States ever since that game. You put Megan Rapinoe and Lauren Holiday back in there, and they added to it, and that's why the United States ended on such a high note.
And Megan Rapinoe would go on to be one of the best 11 in the Women's World Cup.
3 of those players are here tonight with Hope Solo and Carly Lloyd as well.
So we've got,
and Megan Klingenberg. Lots of them are here tonight.
And it's brought a great crowd out here. About 8,000 tickets were sold. Some of those people may have gone home, but a lot of them have stuck out the bad weather here, as you see Megan Klingenberg. Did cool things off a little bit here. Some of the games down here in Houston have been played in 90+ degrees at kickoff. It was in the 80s here tonight. McDonald who on a wet surface can run.
I guess since you live in Houston, you say this cooled things off. But for me, coming from Boston, it's still pretty hot and muggy. So some of these players are probably struggling a bit.
Yeah, we call this a flash of cold weather down here. Matthias has checked back nicely. But that is something you have to deal with here, is that heavy humidity. Direct ball over the top. Little is there, and a saving header. Just getting the slightest of touches to it was Ellie Brush, because Little was making that deep run, and she's almost playing like a striker here. Very deep here tonight off the last line of the Dash defense. Ellie Brush with the big play.
Little can start high because she has such incredible midfielders helping her.
Matthias, she's one-on-one. Can she create a shooting opportunity? Takes a deflection. It'll be a corner for Seattle now in the 22nd minute. Matthias buoyed by a goal against the Dash in the 2-1 win 9 days ago. Looking very confident here. Rapinoe to take the corner. She has played in France, Australia, and a number of different countries. Megan Rapinoe swings it in. Second ball still remains in the Dash box. Winters. Oh, it's a good ball from Winters. Little. Dancing, juking to the back post, a header, and a wide open header. Missed by Beverly Yanez, their leading scorer with 9 goals. The table set perfectly for her.
Kim Little working her magic, even with the puddles causing her to have to readjust. But what a perfectly placed ball to Yanez's head. And instead of heading it down, she heads it up and it goes over the frame.
Best chance of the game so far. And there you see Yanez. 9 goals on the year. And that is second only to one Crystal Dunn of Washington. Yanez and Ali Long of Portland, second in goals scored in the NWSL with 9. Fishlock. Rapinoe sticks in the water. Kendall Fletcher now tries to pick out Matthias over the top. It skips right to Erin McLeod. We have 2 of the world's great goalkeepers here. Erin McLeod for Canada, Hope Solo for the U.S. But we have to make a mention because both of their backups have played particularly well. Bianca Henniger and Haley Koppmeyer, both logging a lot of games this year and playing great in the absence of these 2 stars when they were at the World Cup.
Yeah, Erin McLeod talked about how Henninger did such a great job when she was gone, but she's also been amazing since Erin has come back, and that they've really bonded playing and practicing together.
McDonald now. He's got no support. Ohai sitting at the top of the box. Pass gets stuck. Bryan. Creeping in is Klingenberg. Morgan Bryan brings in Megan Klingenberg now. The outstanding left back for the Houston Dash in the U.S. Axon, who's adopted that holding role at 29 years of age from London, England. Played at Oregon State and the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Also had a stint in Norway. Go down to the third member of our team, Kindred D. St. Albans.
Thanks, guys. Well, when we talked to Coach Harvey, the Seattle Reign, yesterday, she told us she doesn't do a lot of communicating and yelling on the sideline during the game. She likes to let them figure it out, but she is doing a lot of communicating so far here today.
It goes and out for a goal kick. Here are the NWSL standings. Seattle, 33 points, have already qualified for the NWSL playoffs. They said last year, Laura Harvey and Kat, you made this point. She said, look, we tried to manage it, rest people. This year, we're putting our pedal to the metal. We are out to win every single game, produce game in and game out as we head into the playoffs and the semifinals.
Yeah, she took a lot of the blame for them not winning in the final against FC Kansas City last year, and she said it's because she was managing players a lot with injuries and making sure they had proper rest. And she said this year they can still meet a lot of their goals and even match their same record from last year if they win out. So they really want to go after that and make sure that they meet their team goals that they set from the very beginning of the season, and they want to make sure that they keep that winning mentality going until the very end.
Carly Lloyd now, Morgan Bryant. Winters stepped up. And the player down for Seattle is Yanez. Matthias checking on her. This is their 9-goal scorer. An opportunity for players to come over to the benches now. If you look at this game 27 minutes in, Kat, and give us a little synopsis of what you've seen.
Well, this has been a tough match for both teams, and they're really dealing with the field conditions. And the game that they just played 9 days ago, it was quick and it was fast movement. But for both teams, it was transition all over the field. But I think the heat, the humidity, and the playing conditions has really slowed this down. And there hasn't been a lot of transition. They're not looking for over the top as much. And it's benefiting Houston at the moment because of how good Seattle is all over the field. And you can see Beverly Yanez goes down.
Boy, no contact. That's what's scary there. Beverly Yanez is down. Just took a step on the surface and down she went. She's being attended to right now. And that's a big, big piece for Seattle. She is a 9-goal scorer. She had the wonderful chance in the air after the setup from Kim Little.
Yeah, she really did. And she typically finishes those because she is very good in the air. And she's just a special player. I actually played with her during the WPS with the Washington Freedom. And she came from the University of Miami and is just one of those late bloomers, plays over in Japan as well, and has really developed herself to become quite one of the top professional players out there.
Being walked off the field here. Here are the top goal scorers, as we mentioned before. Crystal Dunn with 13 at Washington. Ali Long and Yanez at second with 9. And then Kristen Press, who has 8. By the way, Kristen Press has 8 goals in 8 games. Limited time, so a goal a game for Kristen Press. And Jessica McDonald with 7. So this is a non-contact injury here that has walked off Beverly Yanez.
She just pulls up and goes down, and we just wish the best for Beverly Yanez.
Houston Dash second in attendance in the NWSL at 5,969 a game. And of course there's been a major uptick after the U.S. women won the World Cup in such dramatic fashion over Japan. McDonald now a little bit deeper. Fought her way through that tackle. Still fighting. It's Morgan Bryant. Ball slows down in the box. McDonald is in there. It's headed away by Fishlock, who's back defending here. But these conditions, the ball is sticking here in a big way on this heavy surface.
It's tough offensively and defensively because you can't defend the way that you want because you're thinking they're going one way, and you can't play attacking the way that you thought either. So this is tough.
Good news is Beverly Yanez is back, full complement of 11 for Seattle. Shooting opportunity over the top. It goes. It'll be a goal kick. Seattle 30 minutes in. The Dash and Rain tied at 0.
What I would like to see from Houston, though, now is to get more numbers into the box. They're finding the flank space really well with Andressa and Ohai, Morgan Bryant and Carly Lloyd getting there as well. But you're only really seeing Jessica McDonald in there. You got to get more numbers and really compete in the air against the Seattle Reign back four and to go against the best goalkeeper in the world in Hope Solo.
Fletcher was trying to join in. She gave it away. Here's Axon. That's good vision from Axon. And hit it into a good space here to Ojai. She's marked by Fishlock. Klingenberg is in support there. Megan Klingenberg. Towards Bryan. Extended and tried to control it. Couldn't. And then it's Jessica Fishlock. The Welsh international who played at the University of Portland. Fishlock has got 6 goals. Little has 6 goals. Yanez has 9. They can score goals in a variety of places. Rapinoe's got 4. Mathias was the target. Referee gets in the way. It goes right back to Keelan Winters. Yanez. Kim Little now. Eyes in the back of her head. Great vision. The offside flag is up on Winters.
Of Houston to stay together. That means the communication that they really want to keep improving is doing a nice job keeping the Seattle players from staying onside.
Good look at Megan Klingenberg. She's a dependable left back. 10th appearance in the NWSL. She went 45 minutes against Costa Rica on Wednesday. That one's given away. And it'll be a throw in for the Seattle Reign. 10-3-3 in first place on 33 points. The first team to secure a playoff spot. That means they're in the semifinals. Top 4 teams in the table get in. Mathias tried a shot on goal there, and it's out of play. It'll be a throw in. Houston Dash. In some ways, is the heavier surface, the heavier field, a good thing for Houston, and just kind of slowing down the pace and explosiveness of Seattle?
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously benefited them. The quick pace that Seattle typically likes to have, they can't. They like to move quickly, and they're not. And Houston is able to just slow them down and prevent that midfield from really doing much so far in this first half.
Winters now, looking right, looking left. We'll play it to the right. Joining in the attack, Kendall Fletcher. Fletcher was the best 11 last year. Played at the University of North Carolina. Over the top it comes, and McLeod is off her line. Spoke with her this week about the pressures of being a part of Canada and the just insane amount of press coverage they got. And Kat, you as someone who was so embedded in the World Cup as an announcer, I just thought the Canadian media and press was just overwhelming.
They were overwhelming, but in a good way. Yes, there was a lot of pressure on that Canadian team, and Erin McLeod talked about how she was disappointed that they didn't go as far as they wanted, but she was very proud of Canada as a country because they responded to the game so well, and she hopes that that this World Cup helped grow the sport of soccer in Canada.
That was amazing how much penetration in the media every day in the newspapers, radio, TV. Just tremendous for the women's game. McDonald. It was Ojai coming inside. Down to the third member of our team, Kindred D. St. Aubin.
Thanks, guys. Well, going back to what Erin McLeod told you as well, she said she was surprised by the negative media from Canada, but at the same time, she was just happy that they were getting any kind of attention because it's mostly hockey reporters up in Canada. The fact that anybody was talking about the Canadians and that soccer team was a plus. Like you guys said, just continuing that momentum right from the World Cup. Same with the U.S. team right here with this victory tour.
Thanks, Kendra. Over the top. It's Morgan Bryan now, who's gotten in an extended position here in the attack. She'll hold it up. Still Bryan. That's a good entry ball to Carly Lloyd, who goes down. She's not going to get that penalty. She had posted up beautifully on Fishlock there. Klingenberg. Ojai. Goals on the year for Kalia Ojai. Here is Axon. Lloyd. Touch here from Bryan to elude Fletcher, or make that Matthias. Bryan's cross blocked by Fletcher. 36 minutes in, we're tied at 0, a must-win game for the Houston Dash. The Seattle Reign looking to continue on their winning ways, having already qualified for the NWSL playoffs. Glenn Davis alongside Kat Whitehill at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. So Vi, number 24, is going to come on for Seattle. And coming off is Beverly Yanez. And you got to hope that there's nothing more problematic with the injury with Beverly Yanez. Dash will get a corner. Andressa to take it. They'll play the short one. Morgan Bryant towards the near post. Andressa will flight it to the back post. Lloyd tried to steer it on target off the side netting goal kick. I look at Carly Lloyd and all these women's national team players, and we'll get back to this in a second. Let's go back to this last play.
Yeah, and it's a corner kick taken, and you can see that it's just tough with all these conditions, and Carly Lloyd tries to get it back into the mix of play, but maybe it would have been better for her to settle that ball, especially with how soft the ground is. It was easier for your first touch to bring the ball down.
I was about to lead you into just all the media, engagement she's had to do. She's been flying everywhere, the victory tour. You have to think that these players are exhausted.
I'm exhausted just looking at her Twitter feed, because she's talking about always being on an airplane. She is everywhere, and the whole national team, all these players are exhausted from the victory tour, from different appearances that they have to do, but they're also willing to do it because they know that it benefits the game, it benefits women's soccer and women's sports in general, and they love it, and I'm proud that they've done so well and they've represented this country so well.
That being said, it's very problematic if you're an NWSL coach. And
yes,
we'll get back
how
to
do you
that.
manage that?
Yeah, we'll get back to that in a second, because here's Seattle. You can score in a blink of the eye. Headed away by Axon. Fishlock. Fishlock will clip it into the box towards Matthias, collected by McLeod. Yeah, that is a big challenge, because this is the business end of the season here, where you need your biggest and your best.
Yeah, and both coaches talked about it. You ask your players, how do you feel? Do you want to play tonight? Can you play tonight? Hope Solo has been dealing with injuries, and when can she come back? And it's the constant communication that the head coaches have to be with these players, with everything that's going on, and how they can properly manage them. And you can tell that these players still want to play and get out there, because all the national team players are playing tonight, and they just want to help their teams win in the NWSL and keep getting better as players.
8 players between these two teams that played and went to the World Cup in Canada this summer, including Carly Lloyd and this one, Megan Klingenberg. Axon. Ellie Brush. Rachel Axon. McLeod now. Presley. Klingenberg, a little bit of pressure from Seattle, turns them back. It's Andressa now, who's just so neat and tidy on the ball. Works a give and go with Lloyd. Bryan. Oh, high. He's trying to get in there. She has picked up that loose ball, but it's Fishlock back, and Fishlock has done a lot of good defending here tonight.
She's really doubled back with her defenders to help the speed of Ojai and McDonald.
Driven in cross. McDonald is in there. It falls to McDonald. It's 1-0. The offside flag is up. It won't count. The offside flag is up on Jessica McDonald.
Jen LaPont has time and space to look up and finds McDonald wide open. Of course, he completely misses the header, but offside. It's very, very close.
How about that delivery from LaPont? Offside flag is up on Matthias. Short one, Andressa. Look, your eyes just get drawn to Andressa and her ability in tight areas. Brian Presley. Tomorrow, Bundesliga action returns to Fox Sports 1 with a doubleheader as Hoffenheim takes on Bayern Munich at 9 a.m. Eastern, followed by Hamburg squaring off against Stuttgart. It's all on your home for Bundesliga coverage all season long. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The highest attended league in the world, the German Bundesliga. It's going to be exciting to follow that league this year. Over the top, Little has made a deep run. Kim Little, and she's pulled herself away. Kim Little to make it one for Seattle, and that is why she was last year's league MVP. Kim Little has scored her 7th of the year. Over the top, in behind the dash, it is 1-0 Reign. As direct a goal as you could see.
Excellent ball from Lauren Barnes, and Kim Little times it perfectly, stays on sides, and then just completely outruns the back line of Houston, and she will not miss a wide open goal like that. Has so much time to look up, find where to play that ball. There's not much Erin McLeod can do in that situation.
42nd minute, Kim Little, as advertised, puts Seattle up 1-0.
And that's the different dimension that she adds. A lot of times midfielders aren't the quickest because they're having to run that long distance, but she has that extra speed that can get in behind as well, which just gives her even more mobility and makes her more dangerous coming from that attacking midfielder role.
Stephanie Cox knocks it inside. Here's Winters. Her father, Brian Winters, played in the NBA, also was an assistant coach. Lloyd snakes her way out of there. Unbelievable turn under these conditions. But Rapinoe has stripped her national team teammate, Kim Little now. Fishlock, who has played deeper alongside Winters to help defensively here tonight. Matthias, Fletcher. Driven in ball from Fletcher. Dash are going to want to keep this in play because it was last touched by Ellie Brush, and they do. Pont knocked it up the line. Second ball. Andressa is going to get there. And Andressa is fouled by Winters. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk about the World Cup champion U.S. women's national team, and we'll bring you highlights from the first half. A lot to go here at halftime. Stay with us. We talk about a few up-and-comers and if there could be some transition in the future for the U.S. women's national team ahead of next summer's Olympics in Brazil. Going to put Kat Whitehill on the hot seat.
Lots for Coach Jill Ellis to think about this coming summer.
Morgan Bryan. Fishlock trying to break out of there. Bryan fighting. Ellie Brush, Presley now. Presley's going to carry it forward here. Axon wisely sliding into that center back position that Presley vacated.
Halftime's going to be interesting for the Houston Dash. They're going to really have to talk about how they can come out. They're going to have to win transition better. They haven't gotten their attack going quickly as they should. But they're going to have to overcome this deficit if it ends this way at halftime, because they have to win this game to continue their playoff hopes.
Into stoppage time now. Jessica Fishlock, the Welsh international who's been very busy and active here today, is down. She's going not sights here that Laura Harvey wants to see at this point. I guess one of the other criteria for their final few games is, hey, let's not get anybody injured. Fishlock is down. They've already had to take off Beverly Yanez, so it's a time of concern now for Laura Harvey.
I'm just looking at the body language from both teams, and both these teams just seem exhausted, and it's just the first half. Heavy legs from this field, from the weather, and this heat and humidity. I've seen a lot of players with their hands on their knees already in the first 45 minutes.
Difficult times here and real times of concern for the Seattle Reign. Highest scoring and best defensive team in the league. They have been the team to beat over 2 seasons in the NWSL. They got all the way to the final last year to lose to FC Casey, but Jessica Fishlock now is being walked off. So for the moment, the Seattle Reign will play with 10 players. Klingenberg. Andressa. How about your thoughts on Andressa? Very young, talented Brazilian player, recently signed by the Houston Dash.
Well, and your typical Brazilian style, very good on the ball, very clean, smart with her passes. But what I like is that she's dealing with the physicality of the game, and that's one thing that's very difficult for Brazilians to come into and deal with the American style, where they're going to, be more physical and they're going to demand you to run a lot more. And so far in this match, she's covered a lot of space.
Carly Lloyd tried to drive that ball towards the corner flag to McDonald. Yeah, they signed 2 Brazilians to Dash. Camila, the other one, who is having a little bit longer time of adjustment to the NWSL. And you, having played in this league so many times, you know what it's like for the foreign player to try to adapt.
Yeah, it takes time. And the American mentality is just different than a lot of other countries. And when you come into a league in this high demand and a shorter season, it's very difficult to adjust.
Skip put Stephanie Cox in a bit of trouble here. She'll knock it back. End of the field seems to be a lot thicker and heavier. Look at the amount of water down there. Winters went down. Top of the box. Lloyd is going to get a free kick. And could this be a Carly Lloyd moment here? Which could likely be the last touch of a ball here in the first half at BBVA Compass Stadium on a night where the weather has outshined, at times, even Women's World Cup stars.
She recently scored against Costa Rica on a similar free kick, but this time she's going against Hope Solo. She's going to have to make it extra special.
What a great moment here. 2 that won the Women's World Cup, back in league play in the NWSL. Carly Lloyd trying to beat her women's national team teammate, Hope Solo, in goal. Lloyd. Carly Lloyd, and almost tried to finesse it around the wall. Lloyd has picked it up again. We'll get the crossover, but Hope Solo is there. And with that, the end of the first half. Seattle, from last year's league MVP, Kim Little, who picks up her 7th in the 42nd minute. That's the difference. Your thoughts in the first 45?
Well, it's a much different game than the game that they played 9 days ago. The field conditions, the weather conditions, all of it is really attributing to that fact. It's slower. The passes are stopping. People are having to adjust a lot more. And going into halftime, Houston's really going to have to change the pace of the game because they need it to go quicker. They need to transition a lot quicker into the attack because they have to win this game to continue their playoff push.
Let's go down to the third member of our team, Kendra de St. Aubin, with the coach of Seattle, Laura Harvey.
Thanks, guys. Well, you told us yesterday, Coach, that you like your team to kind of figure things out in the field. A lot of communicating from you, though, in the first half, that they maybe need a little kick in the butt or not seeing what you like.
I just think that because the field's so wet on one side, that the moment the ball goes over there, we've just got to be really disciplined, and sometimes we expect balls to go where they're not going to go. I think it's a little bit dangerous, to be honest, so we've just got to be careful of that. So just keeping the goal switched on to that, but I think if we can cut out silly errors like that last one with the free kick, I think we've got control of the game. I think we've just got to work out how we can get in behind Houston a little bit quicker.
Well, Giannis coming out fishlock, maybe a little bit knocked there at the end. I'm sure it makes you nervous, but that's also the beauty of this team is the depth, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we've got players on the bench who can step in any time, and I just think in games like this, in the position we're in the league, it's whether we risk them or not. And I think with Bev's a great opportunity for her to get off, it's not worth her risking the injury.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Laura Harvey, last year's NWSL Coach of the Year. Well, Seattle has a 1-0 lead over Houston. A 42nd minute goal from Kim Little is the difference. Stay with us. More to come here on Halftime, Fox Sports 1.
You got me here? Test 1 2 1 2 1. Cool, I hear you. All right, this headset's fine. Where's Travis?
I'm going to lead you just into just what a spectacular turn of events at the World Cup for the women to go.
Okay.
That, I'll get it back. I'll throw it to the ticker tape. And we'll talk a little attendance. Yes, sir. Yes. Welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. After an hour delay, finally get the first half done and dusted. Seattle with a 1-0 lead over Houston. Kim Little getting the lone goal here in the first half on a very water-laden field here. As we welcome you back alongside me, Glenn Davis is former U.S. Women's National Team defender. Kat Whitehill, also an Olympic gold medalist. Let's talk a little bit about the United States. So this dramatic turn of events in this World Cup after the Colombia game. They run on to win it again. They live up to the moment like the U.S. women always do in World Cups and Olympics. What does this mean for the game here?
Well, it's tremendous for the game, and I'm so proud of those players. 16 years it's been since the U.S. has won the World Cup, and they did it in such style, especially the last game, 5-2 over Japan, and Carly Lloyd with the hat trick. And now it's just benefiting the game, especially the women's soccer game, so much.
And they had this wonderful victory celebration in New York City, and that was something to be at. I know a lot of people who went to this, but what a spectacular moment, and all the mainstream media attention here with all the ladies and women on different talk shows and things. But what a moment for the sport, what a moment of national pride.
Yeah, so proud as a former national team player to see these women get the much deserved attention. They work so hard and they care so much about this sport, and just to see the way that New York City brought them in and just showcased them, and so many other cities doing the exact same thing, like Los Angeles and everywhere. It's just so exciting to watch.
So the impact is followed in a lot of different ways, all the way down to the grassroots level and also to attendance here in the NWSL. Let's just take a look at Houston and Seattle's attendance and the bump they've gotten from a successful World Cup.
And the best part about this is a lot of times right after the World Cup, the crowds come in and that bumps up the attendance a little bit. But now it's been consistent. The fans are realizing that this is beautiful soccer, and there's so many spectacular athletes out there that play the game so well, and these women are showcasing what they can do, and you don't have to just be a national team player to play the game well. These NWSL players are top class.
And all these young players here tonight getting to see all these women's World Cup stars, and for those in Houston on a regular basis. Let's talk about the women's national team, though, because there could be change here in the future, because you've always got a rebutted team. You've always got the challenge of replacing stars and stars going out the way they want. So we think about Abby Wambach, Christine Rapone, maybe the likes of Shannon Box ahead of the Brazil Olympics next summer.
Well, I mean, you already have Shannon Box, Lauren Holiday, and Lori Klubney going out. And Abby Wambach and Christy Rampone are a little bit older. It's a tough decision that Jill Ellis is going to have to make, and I think this is a good time to do it because you have great players like Crystal Dunn who could fill in at outside back or midfield, or Keelan Winters that we've seen tonight. She's an excellent defensive midfielder. Those are some players to keep an eye out for the Olympics.
It's hot, it's humid here in Houston, Texas, but the World Cup stars are here, and the fans have been treated to a good 45 minutes. A 1-0 lead for the Seattle Reign here over the Houston Dash. Highlights from the first half coming up next. Fans taking in the World Cup stars here that are sprinkled throughout the Houston Dash and Seattle Reign. The Seattle Reign with a 1-0 win over the 1-0 lead over the Houston Dash. Kim Little in the 42nd minute. The dynamic midfielder out of Scotland, the difference, but it was Jessica McDonald from Carly Lloyd early here.
Yeah, and it was an excellent ball from Carly Lloyd, but the ground kind of held Jessica McDonald up, and she put the ball over the top. And Klingenberg with an excellent cross in, but Corsi just barely gets a touch and prevents McDonald from getting the goal. And Ojai with a shot on goal, but that's not tough enough for Hope Solo. And then an excellent ball from Lauren Barnes, and Kim Little does what she does best and finish it with ease.
7th goal of the year for Little. You saw her get a look up at Canadian goalkeeper Erin McLeod. She slots it home. That's one woman that people will get identified to that did not get to see at the Women's World Cup, as Scotland did not qualify. Next Sunday, August 30th, Portland against Washington, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Again on Fox Sports 1. That could be a game of huge implication for the 4th and final playoff spot. We'll take a break here at BBVA Compass Stadium. We'll come back. The second half is right around the corner on Fox Sports 1 from Houston.
Mazar?
Ella Masser.
Ella Masser, what have I been saying?
You only said it once if you said it. 'Cause
What did I say? Mazar? Oh, sorry. I know her too. That's what's really sad.
I wonder how you butcher Davis.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, that's the easiest name.
How much time, Dan? Okay. Okay.
Second meeting in 9 days between the Houston Dash and Seattle Reign. The Reign with a 1-0 lead here. The goal in the 42nd minute from star Scottish midfielder Kim Little. Let's go down to the third member of our team, Kendra, who's got more for us.
Thanks, guys. Well, I caught up with Dash head coach Randy Waldrum at the half, and he said he likes how his team came out. He felt good about their opportunities that they did create. They've got to put some of those away. He is going to change the formation a little bit, push Carly Lloyd even up a little bit higher underneath those forwards, and get those wings outside, create some space, put some more pressure on the center midfielders, though, because we know what a handful Fishlock and Little and Winter are in the middle.
Thank you, Kendra. All eyes on Carly Lloyd because, again, the Houston Dash are in a desperate situation here. This is a must-win game for them. Melissa Henderson will come on for Morgan Bryan. And it's game on here in the second half. Seattle in purple and the neon against the Houston Dash in orange. And 45 minutes to try and stay in the playoff hunt if you're the Dash.
Well, and I like that he's changing the formation. Putting Carly Lloyd up higher is what makes her so dangerous. We saw that in the World Cup. And Melissa Henderson, she's an excellent player. She'll provide speed up top for this team. And Morgan Bryan's just dealing with an injury. And that's probably why she's having to be the one to come off.
Over the top they go towards Matthias, who's chased a ton of balls down here tonight. Dangerous back pass is going to lead to a corner here. The surface may be affecting that one a little bit, but the back pass there, not a good one from Ellie Brush. And there is Melissa Henderson. She's got 2 assists in 17 matches, has not found her goal-scoring touch in the NWSL. Played for Randy Waldrum at Notre Dame. Pino off the corner towards the 6, and it's picked out of the sky by Erin McLeod. Good hard-working play there to win the ball back. Fishlock works a give and go with Rapinoe. It's tackled away by Presley Winters now. Fishlock has pulled out on the right. It's a shooting opportunity over the top from Matthias. It'll be a goal kick Dash. Not for lack of a work ethic tonight from Merritt Matthias.
She's a hard worker, and Laura Harvey talked about how she's really learning and coming into this system, but she is not afraid to work hard defensively as well. And that's critical for the Seattle team. They like to high pressure and force the defenders to make mistakes, and Merritt Matthias is one of those players with the speed and athletic ability to really cause havoc for those defenders.
McDonald. Ohai has left the defender. Aaliyah Ohai shot took a deflection. That, boy, it's a goal kick, but might have been, almost looked like it was deflected away by Seattle. And I think Kalia Ohai might agree.
She definitely agrees, and I agree with you. Glenn, it looked definitely like it was a deflection. It should be a corner kick for Houston.
She saw how quickly Ohio can get turned and separate herself from opponents. A lot of promise with this young player in year number 2. She's got 4 goals.
It's tough to tell there because it actually looked like it didn't get a deflection on that replay.
Offside flag is up on Henderson. The Dash bench not happy about it.
For Houston right now, though, is they're not having to deal with the puddles that they dealt with in their attacking area in the first half. Now Seattle's having to deal with it, and Houston can maybe cause some more problems attacking in this second half.
Kim Little with the outside of her foot. Rapinoe is besieged by defenders, tries to slip a pass in towards Little. And it's Axel. Little has won it back. She's built so long, low to the ground, is so powerful and hard to knock off the ball. Vi. Extended possession now for the Seattle Reign. This is their game. Fishlock, Little's got a shooting opportunity to make it 2 and saved by McLeod. It was hit right at her. And Erin McLeod will hold on, but Kim Little again creating a wonderful shooting opportunity.
Creating for herself, dribbling right by Tony Presley here, but Erin McLeod with an excellent save. You can see how well struck that was from Kim Little, but Erin McLeod comes up with it cleanly and allows for no rebound, which is what she needed to do, and the goal right there.
Boy, that was outstanding concentration, because on that second look, bodies in front of the goalkeeper, Erin McLeod.
She made that look easy when it was actually really difficult to see the ball coming off that quickly. And like you said, with bodies in front of her.
Rapinoe getting more of the ball now here in the second half. Knocks it inside. Little again, finding that wonderful pocket of space. It's Kim Little. She'll slip it in towards Rapinoe, who was making the run. Fishlock steps up, gets a shot off the crossbar. It clips the top of the crossbar. It's heavy metal, denying goal number 2 as Fishlock stepped up and won it.
Yeah, it's an errant pass from Klingenberg, and Fishlock does a nice job of getting a good strike on it, but she didn't follow through well enough, which is why the ball hit the crossbar and goes over.
Well, Fishlock mentioning to us that the NWSL to her was her World Cup. Of course, Jessica Fishlock is a Welsh international. Kim Little with Scotland. Those teams did not qualify for the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup.
This is one of the best leagues in the world, if not the best. And Fishlock is showing that she can play with the best players and prove herself as being one of the top players in this league.
Solo. Andressa won it. Axum knocks it forward. It's headed away by Rachel Corsi. She had one of the goals in the 2-1 win 9 days ago at Memorial Stadium in Seattle. Klingenberg. Little stop and go. Tries to get the cross in, earns the corner. The Houston Dash need that powering outside wide play now from Megan Klingenberg, the U.S. international.
Yeah, they need her down the flank a lot more than she was even in the first half. She was still getting high and attacking well, but she's just so good down that left side of flank and playing those crosses in for players running onto it.
Henderson off the corner for Houston. McDonald tried to get ahead on it. Ohai is there. She'll drive the cross in. And it's cleared again by Fishlock, who has just been outstanding from a defensive standpoint here tonight. Has really sacrificed the attacking side of her game. Lloyd. Took it off her chest, finds the feet of McDonald. Klingenberg now. Presley. She's going to get fouled by Matthias.
Matthias just comes in way late, and a definite call against her, and Presley doing a nice job of controlling the ball, but that looked like that hurt.
Set piece now. This may be the way back in this game for the Houston Dash. Presley knocks it in towards McDonald. She flicks it on. It's knocked out of there by Stephanie Cox. Megan Rapinoe now. Sliding and coming out of there beautifully. Matthias gave it away. Lloyd. Make that Axum. Andressa. Andressa started all 4 matches in Canada at the World Cup for Brazil. And it'll be a goal kick Seattle here in the 54th minute. Are you seeing a positive push here from the Houston Dash, Cap?
Honestly, I'm seeing a positive push from both teams. They've created better options in the attack, which means this game is going to be spread out, which hopefully means there's going to be a lot more attacking opportunities for the Houston Dash and for Seattle Reign. But it's still that slow, methodical build-up for both teams that Houston just going to have to be a bit quicker in their decision-making.
Axum. Lloyd. strip Rapinoe, and she shoots out of there quickly, exploding. Big switch of play, and that's a good ball. This is Henderson. Dash got to get players in the box, so struggling to get there. It's still Henderson. Henderson will clip it into the box, a diving header. And going to ground was Corsi. It'll be a throw in Houston.
And that's the transition I was talking about. You said they need more players in the box, but they just got to get there just a bit quicker. They should have known that that ball was going to be outplayed out there, won by Melissa Henderson, and just start flying numbers into the box because of how desperate they need a goal right now.
Rush, Ojai. Ojai self-pass right around the defender. Beautiful from Ojai. That's a beautiful whipped-in ball. Henderson was there, but what a wonderful piece of work from Kalia Ojai out wide, and then matched that with the delivery. Let's go down to the head coach of the Houston Dash, Randy Waldron. Randy, thank you very much for your time. That's got to be positive, the wide play there from Kalia Ojai.
Yeah, it's been good. I've been happy with our performance the first half and the beginning. And if I can get the officials on the right page, we'll be in good shape.
What were the adjustments that you made towards this field in the locker room?
Well, we just talked about that whole right side's underwater. You can't really play over there, so we want to stay off it as much as we can, but at the same time, that's a ball that you got to lift because it's going to get stuck. So I thought we handled it pretty well on that side, but it is a mess.
Randy, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Randy Waldron. 2 national titles at Notre Dame. Year number 2 with the Houston Dash. Vi now. Katrine Vi's pass will go behind Matthias. Game beginning to open up a little bit here, although in transition it's tough to get going because the field's so heavy. In some ways it allows teams to recover. Here's Melissa Henderson, the second half sub, played at Notre Dame. Boston Breakers, 18th appearance for her, 2 assists on the year. Little, just so pleasing to the eye to watch play the game. Rapinoe. Stephanie Cox lays it into the box. Shot to save McLeod. A knifing run at an angle from Vi, who hit it well, but McLeod equal to the task.
2 excellent saves from McLeod in this second half that she made look easy, but very difficult to come up with cleanly.
Winters knocks it inside. Here's Little. Vi to her right. She'll hold it up. She'll go back to Fishlock. Just a wonderfully dynamic, balanced, threatening midfield that also has the work ethic for the Seattle Reign. Winters now. And again, you think she should be a target and somebody that would be seriously considered for the U.S. Women's National Team. I know you're very high in her.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of players that need to get a look, and this is an amazing opportunity for these players right now in these last few games in the NWSL season and going into the playoffs. They can really prove to Jill Ellis that they deserve a sniff on this national team. There's going to be transition. We already know that with Kolupny, Box, and Holiday retiring. Get some of these players in. This victory tour is an amazing opportunity for that, just to see these players playing against the best teams in the world. And you just keep building on the national team from this victory at the World Cup and build on this league that is allowing such amazing players to play in.
It's Carly Lloyd, the Golden Boot winner at the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup. She played 45 minutes Wednesday. No one will ever forget her hat trick in 16 minutes in the World Cup final against Japan. Long driven in ball by Brush. Back post is McDonald. The offside flag is up on her. And by the way, male or female, she is one of 2 people. Jeff Hurst, 4 goals for England in a World Cup final. The only two on the planet in history to have ever done it get 3 goals or more.
It's not too bad if you're thinking about it.
I don't think Jeff got him in 16 minutes either.
I think my jaw couldn't be lifted up from the table because it was just an amazement of that feat in such a quick time. And then that last goal, which was that 60-yard bomb from such a distance. It was so amazing to watch the sophistication to even decide to shoot that ball.
Yeah, you were there that day. It was over after 16 minutes, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, we were watching the team warm up, and Tony and Chico and I looked at each other like, they're ready. They're ready to win this. They were just so focused. I think they were in a bit of shock as well that they went up so much, so quickly.
Beautiful move from Fischlot. She lost Axum. It's Little, and that's the target they always look for. They play through Kim Little. She makes it easy with her movement and mobility. Long ball, this switch of play will be a throw in Houston. No, it'll be a goal kick. Megan Rapinoe's put a good shift in tonight, so has Carly Lloyd. But again, the demands on her and her personal life when it comes to media, everybody just wanting a piece of Carly Lloyd right now when it comes to media attention, and so probably a very differing time for her in her career. Not that she wasn't unknown, so we all know that. Here's Carly Lloyd trying to put the Houston Dash on her back. Lloyd slips a beautiful ball. Shot goes wide. There was an offside flag up. Carly Lloyd weaving her magic here.
Carly Lloyd just is going to take it upon her shoulders because she can, and it's a beautifully slipped ball from Carly Lloyd, and that's very close on that offside. This referee is calling a tight line, and I'm just not sure that she's getting it right every time. You can tell from even the Dash players, I know they're biased that they want it to be onside, but they can see it too, and it's so close to with that call.
Fletcher goes direct over the top. Baez trying to get there. McLeod is going to get there, does a safe thing off her line, and concedes the throw. Randy Waldrum had this team positioned beautifully, but then losses to Washington on August 1st, 3-1, and then Sky Blue August 7th, 2-0 at home. Were real devastating blows here because they knew they had this home-and-home series with the Seattle Reign.
Well, in their last 4 games, they played 2 of the top teams, and Seattle Reign twice, which they lost the first one, and the Chicago Red Stars are coming up, and they had a chance to be in the driver's seat, and now they must win out and need a little bit of help from other teams and losing. So it's a difficult task in these last few games for Houston.
Driving forward here now. LaPont, who whips in the cross. Again, I mentioned it earlier, LaPont for 3 years has been an amateur and finally got signed to a full pro contract, and now is starting right back here tonight in the absence of Ella Masser.
Yeah, I was just thinking what an excellent job she's done tonight, considering she hasn't played that much with this group, and Masser has done an excellent job of being out of position this year at right back, and LaPont stepping in very nicely for this team.
Alicia Chapman, who played for Canada in the World Cup, will come on now for the Dash. Ball goes into the box. Solo will see it out. Let's go down the sideline to Kendra. Kendra.
Hey guys, a quick thought on Klingenberg now switching to the right as we saw LaPont come off the field. That left side is a disaster over there. The ball is dying every single time due to the water and the saturation. I would assume Randy Waldrum switching her to the right. He's trying to get her forward attacking on that right flank, and I think it's going to be a good move because that's where Houston has to find the space.
Thank you, Kendra. First touch for Alicia Chapman. Nice penetrating ball here. Here's Ojai, who's been a threat on a number of occasions here tonight.
When Chapman was a real bright spot for Canada in the World Cup on that left outside back, so it's good to see her slotting in and getting some minutes, and she's been dealing with the injury since coming back from the World Cup.
There's Little again. Look at the strength, the power to fend off another very powerful athlete, Carly Lloyd. Winters switching the point of attack. A quick glance behind her, gets a bit of pressure from Henderson. Vi is going to try it over the top. Nice effort from her because it was an effort of conviction. 42nd minute goal from Kim Little is the difference here at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. Hope you're enjoying this on Fox Sports 1. The Seattle Reign with a 1-0 lead over the Dash. Glenn Davis alongside former U.S. Women's National Team defender Kat Whitehill, formerly of the Boston Breakers. It's funny because the Dash have had problems with the teams at the lower end of the table.
And they'll be facing the Breakers later this week.
Final home game for them. And final game of the year. Laura Harvey up off her bench. Players absolutely love playing for her. They call her laid back. That's what Kim Little said. Laid back with a ton of knowledge.
She really does have a ton of knowledge, and for such a young coach, she just seems to have grasped the idea of what it means to coach at this high level.
Rapinoe standing over the free kick. And again, she's only 35 years of age, Laura Harvey. It's bent in, it's a good looking ball, it's flicked out, what a save from McLeod. She picked it out of the corner. Jessica Fishlock is stunned, she thought she had scored. A save of spectacular nature at full stretch from McLeod.
McLeod has come up big time in this second half for Houston Dash, and I thought it was going in myself, but just with the fingertips, McLeod is able to knock it wide. But Fishlock was unmarked, and you cannot allow that to happen.
One shutout against Switzerland in the knockout stages. Stephanie Cox to take the corner. She'll drive it in. McLeod, it went through her hands. Ball is still loose. Little is in there. Rapinoe. Vi. Top of the box. Some good movement here under tough conditions here. And McLeod will pounce on that from Winters. 68th minute. Sunday Bundesliga action returns. Ingolstadt battling Borussia Dortmund. Coverage begins 9 a.m. Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. That is going to provide the Bundesliga some wonderfully pleasurable hours of watching in my house. Lloyd, the outside of her foot. She was trying to bring in Henderson. Here's McDonald. Threat early in the game. Needs to come to life here in the second half. Oh, high. Spins. It's kind of a mishit cross that could have caused problems, but Hope Solo saw it all the way. It'll be a goal kick.
Ojai has done an excellent job down this right flank. Just a quick turn right around Stephanie Cox, and it was a mishit, but it became dangerous, but Hope Solo had it covered.
Brush came out of the middle. This stadium's going to host a short amount of time. September 4th, Argentina will play Bolivia here. Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria coming to the intimacy of this stadium. And of course, October 1st, the NWSL final will be played at Providence Park in Portland. That's a great move.
It is. Well, actually, I asked Laura Harvey about it because Seattle could clinch home field advantage if they keep winning, and she said, well, if I can't play in Seattle, there's no other place I'd rather play than in Portland. So it's an amazing park, and the fans there, they just come out and support their team so well.
She kind of was relishing the fact that they'd be kind of the bad guys if they got there coming into Seattle, kind of coming into Portland. They would be kind of the villains.
And she loved it. She thought that would be great for her team, and the atmosphere would really spur their team to play well.
Decision to select a set location was determined by the owners of the NWSL, but it allows them to sort of plan all the tertiary events that can make it a celebration and very exciting around it. Rapinoe. Kim Little. Off her line is McLeod, who gets there. Couldn't hold it, but dove at the feet bravely of Kim Little. It'll be a corner for Seattle now in the 71st minute.
Megan Rapinoe just slips the ball in so well, but McLeod off her line so quickly. She has just been tremendous in the second half.
Rapinoe to take the corner. Fishlock moving towards the near post, as well as Winters. Winters was there, but it's headed away. Good defensive header by the Dash. It'll be another corner, Seattle. Megan Rapinoe has had a very influential night here. Short one. Little to the back post. And it's going to be deemed a goal kick here, much to the surprise of Katrine Vi.
Now Houston is really going to have to push, and they have to play numbers forward, take a lot more risks. You're under this 20-minute mark now, and you need 2 goals. You need Carly Lloyd to get higher and just create some magic for you. Connect with Ojai, Henderson, and McDonald up front. They need to just push players out of the back, get Klingenberg high, Chapman high, leave 2 center backs, and take as many risks as possible.
Look at that, Fishlock just going right over Carly Lloyd to win that header. It goes all the way back to Erin McLeod. Well, there's no doubt that the Seattle midfield is certainly going to be spurred on by the challenge of Carly Lloyd and Morgan Bryan in that first 45 minutes. Bryan came into this game question mark, passed a fitness test. She's had some back problems. She went 45 minutes. Winners. Fishlock. Exum under pressure from Vi. Got out of there beautifully. Credit both teams. They played some attractive soccer here tonight, despite the conditions here and heavy water in one half of the field.
They really have. They've played it cleanly on the ground. They haven't gotten caught up in the fact that it's not easy with the puddles in the middle of the field. It's just, you can tell heavy legs are starting to happen right now.
Little again has picked it up in her favorite spot. Little will get the shot off. Little will score again. It's a second goal from Kim Little. It is vintage. And it is now 2-0. The Seattle Reign over the Houston Dash.
There's just too much time and space for Kim Little. You can see she picks the ball up, and there's not a defender close enough to her. All she has to do is look up and play where Erin McLeod is not. And Erin McLeod has just done so well in this second half, but there's only so much you can do when a world-class player has that much time and space to take a shot.
Chapman couldn't get pressure on her, but Kim Little tonight reminding us what a star she is in the NWSL. Last year's league MVP, has scored twice in the 42nd and 73rd. And now the Houston Dash in dire trouble here.
She should get looks for FIFA Player of the Year as well. I mean, she's one of those players that the whole world needs to know who she is. Obviously, everyone knows Carly Lloyd, but she's in the same conversation as a player like Carly Lloyd because of how good she is. People just don't know about her because Scotland hasn't yet made it to the world stage, and she deserves to be in that position.
Andressa tried it with the outside of her foot. There's Little back defending, doing it. Carly Lloyd. Alyssa Chapman. It'll be a free kick, Seattle. Good position taken up defensively by Kendall Fletcher. Talk to me a little bit about Kendall Fletcher, because I know you're high on her as well as a defender.
Well, absolutely. I'm not the only one. Laura Harvey thinks that she's one of the best center backs in this country, and she deserves a look from Jill Ellis with the national team. And I asked Laura Harvey, why is Kendall Fletcher playing out wide? And she goes, well, she kept talking to me all last year about getting higher because she loves to attack. And it finally worked out for Kendall Fletcher because Corsi came in and played a really good job in the center back, and Kendall Fletcher getting forward and getting high. She's very good on the ball, and she crosses and attacks very well from that outside back position.
Best 11 in the NWSL last year. Look at this, spraying passes now out wide is Little. Tackled away by Chapman. Winters will step up beautifully to win it and keep possession for Seattle. They have been impressive here tonight. Fishlock, penetrating ball. Matthias will steer it towards the far post, and it just trickles tantalizingly wide, and it'll be a goal kick dash. Matthias with a good run, tried to pull it to the far post.
And this is the goal from Kim Little, and you can see there's just so much time for her to look up and perfectly place that ball. You can see from this angle that Erin McLeod was really close to getting to that ball, but you have to take that risk if you're Chapman back there and hope that your center back is covering you just in case Kim Little does get by. You just can't allow for her to have 5 yards to take a look and know where she wants to shoot the ball.
Kim Little represented Great Britain in the 2012 Olympics. They got to the semifinals. Little has represented Scotland since she's 16 years of age. And said one of the reasons she loved coming here as Ellie Reed gets set to come on and playing for the coach, Laura Harvey, is this short passing, pressing style of play they have. And of course, Little played at Arsenal Ladies in England under Laura Harvey. Big round of applause here in Houston. A wonderful one for Megan Rapinoe. Ellie Reed comes on. Played at the University of Portland. Look at the determination there from Megan Rapinoe as she high-fives Laura Harvey. Lloyd trying to get turned. She brought it down. Carly Lloyd with a great offer. Ball is loose. And Solo will pounce on it. Solo working on her first shutout this year in the NWSL. She played 45 minutes against Costa Rica. Top goalkeeper at the 2011-2015 Women's World Cups. Let's go to Kendra, who's with Megan Rapinoe.
Thanks, guys. As you said, here with Rapinoe, well, coming out tonight, a little bit of maybe a slow start. Is it the conditions were just tough for you guys, for both sides, it seemed?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, having that rain and just the pitch which is normally beautiful. It's actually a quality pitch to still hold up this well with all the rain, but just playing kind of slow. It's hard to get a rhythm. I think for me personally, I'm a little bit tired, and probably the team's tired from the travel and the heat, but I think we kind of found our rhythm a little bit, but it's just one of those slower paced games, I think.
Well, Coach Harvey told us yesterday, you guys really want to step on these teams down the stretch. Maybe not let up, maybe a little bit like you did last year. You're coming out, you're up 2-0, 12 minutes to go. Do you feel like you guys are doing that here?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're trying at least. It was awesome to get another goal. Definitely want that against this team. So dangerous, but we want that going forward. We want to have that mentality and be able to kind of have that flow going forward into the playoffs. I mean, obviously last year we had a great season, kind of tailed off a little bit at the end. Still felt like we played well in the final, but we just want to have that winning mentality and have that taste in our mouth going into the playoffs.
Thank you so much. Good luck down the stretch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kendra, and our thanks to Megan Rapinoe and Dash coach Randy Waldron, Carly Lloyd for taking the time out to give us some very good insight here. What a World Cup for Rapinoe.
She's always fun to talk to. She knows the game so well and loves the game. You can tell just by the way she plays that she loves to play the game, and she's just one of those people that you want to cheer for because of who she is and how she plays the game and how she holds herself so well.
Trying to spin out of there was Melissa Henderson. Here's Little hesitation. She Caught Matthias, who was trying to get herself back on side. But I want to steer you back towards Kim Little because it's a player that really has taken responsibility here tonight and has provided the difference here with both goals.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's just a special player. We've talked about it a lot.
Here she is again now. We'll get back to that in a second. She's laid it on to Fishlock, who doesn't make great contact, but she's showing us that she's a provider as well.
And that was one of the biggest benefits for the Seattle team when the World Cup players left, was having players like Kim Little, like Jess Fishlock and Keelan Winters and Stephanie Cox, and the list goes on with world-class players that have played on world stages, and that's, you know, it's probably going to be why Seattle, or it is why Seattle has made such a magnificent run in this season. And people forget, with how well they started last year, they went on quite a long unbeaten streak. They still might reach the same win amount as they did last year if they went out, and that's just a testament to this team and the depth and the coaching staff and every person a part of it.
Mariah Bullock will come on. Merritt Matthias, who does a lot of the running, the hard pressing play up front here tonight, made a couple of great runs, got on the end of a few balls here tonight, comes off. How about the night from Matthias?
Hard worker. She was everywhere, all over the field, smart runs. She had a couple of really good opportunities in front of goal. I enjoyed watching her from a defensive standpoint, to watch how hard she works from a defensive standpoint from a forward. You just don't see that every day, and she's willing to put her body on the line to help her team win.
Over the top towards Ellie Reed. That'll roll over the end line. It'll be a goal kick to Erin McLeod and the Houston Dash here. Seattle trying to see this one out here. A 2-0 lead. A late goal in the first half may have been a bit of a body blow for the Houston Dash in the 42nd minute.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a lot out of them. They have kind of, it looks by their body language, come to the realization that they're going to lose this game and probably miss out on the playoffs yet again. And that's, you know, this team was doing so well this season, and I really thought they were going to make it into the playoffs, but it just hasn't gone their way at the end of the season.
Tough night. If they were to lose tonight, still not mathematically eliminated, but for sure they'd have to win their final 2 games. Be a big mountain to cross. That one whipped in by Henderson. Andressa now. There's a little samba over it. Axum now will drive it in. That's a good looking ball. Why the offside flag is up, I don't have any idea here, because Carly Lloyd was the target in the 83rd minute. Since the World Cup, when 25 million people watched the U.S. women defeat Japan, 18% increase in attendance from around the league. We have seen it, we have felt it. Do you think fans are conditioned just to the big events? Do you think there'll be some staying power here now with these fans as we look out to the NWSL, maybe next year?
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, there was such tension around this World Cup, and you know, it helped that it was the same time zone and you know, in the North America. But the fans are still coming out, and they're staying out, and they're watching this league, and they're seeing what quality soccer this is, and they're starting to know players that weren't on the World Cup team, because these are top players in this country, and they deserve to be seen, and they work so hard, and that's what I love so much about this league. And I just hope the fans keep coming out, even once, you know, next year when the league starts back up after this league is over, and on and on and on.
Some of the life has been siphoned out of the legs of the Houston Dash here in the 85th minute. Pushing down by Ojai. Got Henderson to her right. Melissa Henderson. Bullock defending her. Andressa got knocked off it. Carly Lloyd now at the top of the box with a bit of a step over. Here's Lloyd. Lloyd trying to get it back on her right. She does. She bends it. It goes wide. But she had Hope Solo scrambling as their little one-on-one battle within the game continues.
Carly Lloyd is just tireless. I mean, she has been traveling so much. We've talked about the high demands, but she's been all over this field, and this has not been an easy night considering the weather conditions and the field conditions, but she has just been everywhere trying to help her team win. And there you can see Andressa and Keelan Winters going after it, and Andressa is the one that's on the ground dealing with a bit of a knock.
This young woman has been very, very impressive here tonight. Again, played in all 4 matches for Brazil, started those games. But it's definitely one for the future for Randy Waldrum in the Houston Dash. Andressa being looked after here. Dash, if this holds, will go to 5-8-5. Seattle will pick up their 11th win. Winner's got her. But I say that in the 86th minute with Carly Lloyd on the field, and anything can happen.
Absolutely. Hat trick in 16 minutes in the World Cup final. I think she can score 2 goals in these 4 minutes plus stoppage time.
She has had moments of brilliance here tonight. And that is the influence and the power of influence to those young soccer players here tonight. Dash trying to carve an opportunity out here. If they could pick off a goal here, they could make it very interesting. Chapman trying to get forward on the left side. She battles to win it back. Big switch of play. Carly Lloyd was the target. Bullock tracking Carly Lloyd, who was pulling out at the far post. 88th minute.
Bullock, who's formerly Mariah Nogueira, for those that are wondering who Bullock is. She recently got married from Stanford. I actually played with her for a year in Boston, so changed her name, but still a great player and one of the best headers out there.
Maxim, here is Bullock. Looking for support. Winters showed for her. She'll clip it over the top. It ends up being a great ball. And it's right to the person you want to have it. It's Kim Little now. To Ellie Reed. Vine. Little. You know, as I look at Kim Little, and certainly this team finds her because of her mobility and her movement. They know they want to play through her, but they've got so many good decision makers on the ball, Seattle.
They really do, and one of those that we've talked a lot about, but we need to reemphasize is Fishlock. And she sees the game well. She knows when to play it long. She knows when to hold up. She knows when to play it back and get her players involved, and that allows for Little to stay high. She doesn't have to worry about coming back and getting the ball.
Dangerous ball across the top of the box, trying to get there and win it back. Is the Houston Dash now. Andressa. Shooting opportunity, top of the box. It's pulled wide. The hit coming from number 9, Camila, the 20-year-old Brazilian who just came on.
She needed to take a touch on that one. It was a nice ball across, but she had the time to take a touch and get a better shot than that.
The Dash adding 2 Brazilians, Camila Pereira and Andressa. Ellie Reed. Winters, who's just continued to do the running, and now has sprinted towards the corner flag to make herself available for this. Reed now. Little working on a hat trick. Little has broken through, looking for the hat trick. She'll stuff it home. It's a hat trick for Kim Little. Unbelievable movement in the penalty area, running right through the entire Houston Dash defense. And it is game, set, and match here in the 90th minute. Kim Little the star.
Well, this is just pure class. Just completely fakes out everyone, tired legs, diving everywhere, and just with a little bit of a chip right over Erin McLeod, she just finished it. And you can just see they're trying, but they have been, it's just a tough game for this Houston Dash defense. And Kim Little is top notch.
The Dash now trying to answer and pull something back. Camilla now. What a night for Kim Little. They may have come to see Carly Lloyd. They may be leaving, learning about Kim Little. This shot will take a deflection, and it'll be a corner for the Houston Dash. 4 minutes of additional time have been added. 9th goal of the season. That's going to put her number 2, tied with Allie Long and her teammate Beverly Yanez, only behind Crystal Dunn. Washington, in it comes. It's punched away by Hope Solo. Crystal Dunn has 13. Let's take another look at this thing of beauty.
Well, Presley got caught overreaching, and then every other Houston Dash player just trying to make some kind of save because they just don't know when Kim Little is going to shoot it. And she does the right thing. She keeps the ball and just makes it look so easy.
Shifting, changing directions, people getting put off balance, wrecking a defense, and then providing that subtle finish. Credits playing with her father and her brother growing up in Scotland. Maybe she was more of an Aberdeen fan. The Seattle Reign here, working on win number 11. They will go to 36 points here tonight, and they do it behind a hat trick from Kim Little, who had 6 goals on the year coming into tonight. Wet conditions favor a player like that who loves to take people on. Do you give an attacker an advantage on a night like tonight against defenders where the field might be heavy? It's a tough one. I know people will answer it in both ways probably.
It's tough to say, you know, when you're so good at keeping the ball and then it hits a puddle and it throws you off, then yes, I would say it definitely, or it doesn't benefit the attacker. But Kim Little, even when she got caught in a puddle and it threw her off, was still able to adjust so quickly that I would say it does benefit her. And just she's learned to deal with the adversity of the field, and she's actually used it to help her.
Lloyd leading the attack. Klingenberg now. And Klingenberg is going to get called for the foul. I've talked to some who love it off the dribble and ex-teammates, and they've said on a slick night, they like a slick night.
Yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of teams water the field. They like that slickness of the field. I do not, personally, as a defender, because if it slides off you and hits you wrong and it lands right to an attacker, you know, then you don't look too good. But yeah, a lot of attackers like that. But this is tough because there's pockets there that the ball just completely stops.
It's been a vintage performance from Kim Little. 3 goals with very different personalities here tonight. Carly Lloyd now, who despite being, one would think, exhausted, has provided some wonderful moments here. So has Kalia Ohai, who will drive it in the box. It's over everybody. Houston toe-to-toe with Seattle until the 42nd minute when a difference maker provides the goal, Kim Little. And that does it. It is a hat trick for Kim Little. Seattle 3-0 winners over Houston. Your thoughts on this night, Kat?
Well, it was a different game than the game that they just played against each other, where it was a lot quicker in that game, and this was much slower. The field conditions kind of forced them into it, and it looked like it was going to be, you know, an interesting game. Both teams were playing well, and Houston was attacking well, but then it just became the Kim Little show, and she proved why she was NWSL Player of the Year last year.
She just broke out in a bit of a smile there. Kim Little provides 3 goals here tonight at BBVA Compass Stadium. The Seattle Reign reminding us that they are the #1 team in the NWSL. We'll take a break from BBVA Compass Stadium. Seattle 3, Houston 0.
Who am I throwing to and taking it from, or am I just starting cold? Okay, take from Glenn, throw to Glenn for both. Okay.
Yes, sir. Listening. Yes, I'm listening. Yep. Okay.
They're having a little team conversation here, it looks like.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Are you the ultimate Dynamo fan?
Highlights.
Carry your fan spirit wherever you go. Let BBVA Compass help you go orange whenever you make purchases. Visit the BBVA Compass kiosk on Dynamo game days. You can apply for a Dynamo Clear Points credit card.
Okay, before highlights. Okay.
I'm going to stand on this side just because my
Okay.
not that it makes that much of a difference.
Okay.
It's pretty hidden, but
Okay, so it's just a vintage performance, yeah.
when my hair is not down, it's always a little visible.
Okay, so you're gonna take me through all this. Yep. 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 But do I get one final comment from Kat there, or no? Just go right to Kendra? Go right to Kendra, not a comment from Kat? Yep, okay. Yep.
I'm still waiting.
Okay. Yep.
It looks like he might get Little first.
Yep. Hope Solo and Kendra, hopefully. Okay, now, after that, am I throwing to Jay and Dan?
He's bringing both of them.
Yeah, just put Fox Sports Live there.
Well, they're both coming. Watch your foot. Okay, here comes Little. Little first.
So I'm getting a comment from you. What would you like it to be?
Congratulations. You said you wanted to step on people when they were down. It looks like. Wow. Yep. Thanks, Glenn. Well, I'm here with the hat-trick scorer, Little. Now, you said you wanted to step on these guys when they're down. Not just these guys, but just the rest.
Back here at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas, it is Seattle, 3-0 winners over the Houston Dash, showing why they are the #1 team in the NWSL. And we welcome you back. Glenn Davis alongside me, former U.S. Women's National Team defender Kat Whitehill. This was a night where we saw a vintage performance from an individual. We go right to Kim Little. She did it in a variety of ways. Goal scorer, provider, you name it, she did it.
Well, we talked about her a lot in the broadcast and how great that trio of midfielders are. And we started with Kim Little and we end with Kim Little. She was world class the whole time, just creating opportunities, staying high, allowing other players to get wide, finding players, finding space for herself. And she just had too much time and space at the end of the game on the ball, and she just made the Houston Dash defense pay for it.
Well, let's go down to Kendra, who is with the hat-trick hero, Kim Little.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, I'm here with the hat-trick scorer, Little. Now, you said you wanted to step on these guys when they're down. Not just these guys, but just the rest of the way until you get to the postseason. You really took advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, I think we spoke a lot about it this week, that we wanted to continue our good form, even though we had a good advantage in the league. And I think we came here tonight. It wasn't a very pretty performance in any way, but I think we were defensively very good, and I managed to capitalise in their final thirds, which was great.
Well, what does it say about this team that you come here, not great conditions, you sit in the locker room for an hour, the whole one side of the field is a little bit sketchy out there, and the humidity is pretty intense, but again, you guys come out, you step up your game, and you get the job done.
I think it's important for us to be professional whatever the circumstance, and we knew potentially there could be a rain delay or thunder delay, so I think we took care of that very well. We scored in the first half and finished it off in the second, which was great.
Thank you so much. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you, Kendra. Let's take a look at the one-woman wrecking crew that is Kim Little, starting in the 42nd minute, over the top.
Yeah, Lauren Barnes with an amazing over-the-top ball, and Kim Little just had all the time and space to finish it. She's not going to miss a goal like that.
So she does it that way directly. Then in the 73rd minute, pocket of space in this hit.
And she created this for herself. All she needed was a little bit of separation from her and her defender, and she finds the far corner, and Erin McLeod, who had an excellent game today, was unable to make that save. And then here, she just chips it right over Erin McLeod. The defenders from the Houston Dash were trying so hard to prevent her from scoring, but Kim Little is world class and finished it with ease.
Racing through 5 players, shifting her hips. Let's go down to Kendra D. St. Aubin, again with Hope Solo now after these standings. As you see right now, the Seattle Reign on 36 points, 11 wins, and the Houston Dash not mathematically out of it. Now we'll go to Kendra with the goalkeeper from the U.S. Women's National Team and Seattle, Hope Solo.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, I'm here with the winning goalkeeper, Hope Solo. Well, you guys have been on clearly a whirlwind tour. What does it feel like to come back into this team, step right in, and not miss a beat?
This team is incredible. The organization, Seattle Reign, is incredible. So honestly, it wasn't that difficult. It actually feels really good to come back and just play for fun. I mean, yes, it's intense and there's incredible players on both sides, but to be honest, it's just fun to be out here, and hopefully we can win the league this year and then win the championship as well.
And riding that high of the World Cup. You've got the victory tour going on, but you see the fans coming out here tonight, a sold-out crowd for their standards for the Houston Dash, 10,000 tickets sold. They waited around through an hour rain delay. I mean, what does that say to try to carry this momentum right into the Olympics?
It's incredible. It doesn't happen overnight. It's the longevity of the game, but the fans are out, and that says a lot. It says a lot, not just the marketing, but it says a lot about the game. People aren't going to come out unless you have great players and unless it's good soccer. And I think you saw here tonight it was really great soccer, and that's what people love to see.
Thank you so much, Hope. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Back to you guys, Glenn.
Thank you, Kendra. Well, that was, I like what Hope Solo said there. It's about the players and putting on a performance here tonight. The quality of soccer, excellent based on these conditions.
Well, it really was, and let's be honest, Seattle has created the standard in this league the past 2 seasons with how to play the beautiful game and how to play it well. They're deep all over the place, all over the field for this team. Their midfield is the best in the league, and they keep winning and they keep proving to people that you have to catch us, and it's going to be tough for any team to beat them for this NWSL title.
For Cat Whitehill, I'm Glenn Davis. Let's go back now to Fox Sports Live with Jay and Dan.